Yeah, no.
When you put out Gargantuan, I saw it was shared on a particular streaming app I've never seen before. And I can't remember what you had said, but you were talking about why you particularly liked this streaming platform.
So this streaming platform is called Audius, and the reason I use it is because, well, one, it's a newer platform, and like when a newer platform comes, you have a better advantage. You have more of a, like leverage of getting like hits and likes and
Mm.
stuff before it gets too oversaturated. You know what I mean? So, and then the second reason I use it, well, it's probably more like the first reason, more of a first reason. Sorry, is because the whole thing run so it was designed as a SoundCloud replacement. Like that's what they said. They're like, we want this to replace SoundCloud.
Okay.
And when people interact with this website, we want to give like to the people who interact with the website, So like if you the more you interact with it, if you they award you these like coins, and they're actually tradable on the crypto market if you want to go down that route. But so like the whole website works on blockchain and all of that, yada yada yada. So when you upload tracks, it's just like every time someone shares that, every time someone plays it, you basically are earning more of these coins, which can be used to unlock more features of the site. So it's kind of like the more coins you have, the more of the site you own.
Okay. And when you say unlock features on the site, like what kind of features?
Honestly, I'm not too sure exactly. This is like
Things
the
that will
it's.
help you reach more people easily,
I
or is
think
that supposed to be
so.
the appeal?
They had something. They had something about like I don't know, unlocking NFTs and stuff. Like once you have so many coins, you become a silver tier, and then you get like I'm not. It's still young. It's still pretty young. Like they like well, if you actually go into it and when it describes the tiers and stuff, it does say more and more to come like soon.
Mm-hmm.
But I think yeah, I'm not too sure what you can like use the coins to leverage what you do on the site. I think right now it's because it's still pretty young. It's still pretty like it's everyone's got like the same leverage. Like I know they have like they have a bronze tier, a silver tier, and a gold tier, and you can start. And this is where like the existence of my knowledge and stuff really gets a little thin is how this all works because like you can like sponsor a node or something, and then that costs X amount of coins, and then you can generate more coins by doing that. So like, yeah, no, you have to. But there is white papers and stuff you could read about and how
Okay,
it
it sounds
works.
like they have their own economy going on, right? And it incentivizes you to continue using their
Yeah,
platform.
like the coin they use is called audio coin, so you can like go onto like coin market or whatever it is and like type in audio coin, and it'll give you like a value compared to like the US dollar.
Right, right. Just like if I was to go on Wealth Simple and just look at their crypto market in general.
Yeah,
You're hearing more and more apps using blockchain technology. So what was it called again?
like the
The
stream
platform.
it was called Audius.
Audius, okay. And it runs on blockchain. That's so interesting. I had just heard of Odyssey, and I believe it's trying to be a YouTube alternative, if I remember correctly, but it also functions on blockchain technology.
Yeah, no, it's unique stuff, and and yeah, again, like I'm pretty thin at how it works. I've tried to, but then again, I'm like, you know what, like that's not my cup of tea. Like I like to like learn a little bit about it, but like I'm not looking to be like fully like crypto bro or anything, you
Yeah, you're not
know.
looking to buy property in the metaverse.
No, definitely not. And like, well, that's the thing of the NFTs. Like, I was looking at the NFTs for a bit, and when they first became like a thing, I went to a convention where they were like not a convention, it was like a panel, like an NFT panel, where they were talking about it and the different ways you can earn money. And I got a bit interested in it. I was like, oh, this is really cool. This is really cool. Like, like there was a story about a guy who just went around taking pictures around Vancouver and was just selling. This guy who went around Vancouver taking pictures, and he was selling the pictures he took on as NFTs online, making bank. So I started looking through it, and I found that people were selling these collections. So I started making my own collection of like I'm just gonna release these little like babies dressed up as ravers, and I made
Okay.
I wrote a computer program that spit out like like hard like different traits and stuff this baby had. So like the computer program would be like I could type in give me 100 babies, and it'd be like, all right, so like the computer program would go and it'd be like, okay, is it going to be a boy or a girl? And I think I actually looked up the actual like statistics of chances of getting a boy and girl, and like used that to like decide. And okay, what's its eyes? Is it going to be like, you know, is it going to have sunglasses? Is it going to have like aviators on? Is it going to have no glasses? And each tribute had a certain percentage I had tried, and so I could like press it spits out 100 of these unique babies, and then the only task is to draw the items on a template.
Right.
But then
And then you'd sell them as NFTs.
exactly,
Yeah, okay.
exactly. But then as I was like working on it, I was kind of like, you know, keeping my, and then I don't know, I just kind of was just like, the more I learned about NFTs, the more unappealing it became to me. Like I was just,
Yeah, I get that.
I was just like, it sounded fun at the beginning, but like the more I was just like looking at all these different collections and stuff, the more I was just like, eh, like.
I don't know what I think of it. I do somewhat think there's going to be this branch off of a subsect of society that wants to live their life online, it seems like, because you have NFTs, right? And you own them in the virtual world where now you can own property and you could have your cryptocurrency. And it just seems like they're really getting a lot of people to invest a lot of money in artificial life. And I'm
Yeah.
expecting it to expand more.
Oh, it's always been a thing. Like, I mean, I feel like you look at games like, what's it, World of Warcraft, I think. What's that? Is it World of Warcraft, the one where you have to, like, it's made by Blizzard, in it? You'd always
World
see...
of Warcraft
it's like
is made by Blizzard.
Yeah, no, it's the one where you have to pay to be, like, a part of it, right? Like, you have to... Like, I always remember being in the game shop as a kid, and it always baffled me that you could buy this game, and you'd have to buy the game, but then to play the game, you'd have to pay monthly to play the game. And I was just always like, well, but like, yeah, no, like, people get like heavily addicted into that. Like, and there was another game, I think it's called, so my phone is just doing stupid things. Let's put it on silent, and it's taking itself off of silent. There we go. And then there's a game, I think it's called Second Life.
Okay.
And apparently, like, I just remember reading like the headline, you know, like parents kid starves to death because they were too busy playing their second art. It's like a headline.
These
like,
parents had neglected their child and it died because of a video game.
yeah, they were
That's like some Casey
living
Anthony
their
shit.
second life, I guess. But
Oh my god.
but yeah, like, and I guess this game is kind of like what the metaverse is trying to be, I guess. I don't know. I think like I've never played it. I think I've seen like a video of it, but like you're like
Of the metaverse, you mean?
not the metaverse.
Oh, of this game.
Second Life. But it's like,
Okay.
yeah, you can have your own house, and then I was just watching this this video of this guy who was just like hacking into people's lands and pissing them off, and it's pretty funny. But yeah, but like I think I don't know. What do you think about the whole metaverse thing? Like,
I don't know what I think of all of it. Sometimes I don't even know what I think of crypto in general because I've been having I forget his name, but there was an economist I was listening to, and he is a proponent of the Austrian School of Economics, which is a really radical thing that doesn't really exist in practice anymore because it has to do ultimately with this idea that you let the market determine value rather than the government. And because they have fiat currencies, I believe it was more a pertinent idea when gold ran the economy. But he was talking about having a particular interest in Bitcoin because it has set parameters and can't change. So it's the only crypto that you could look at as a hard currency because all the other ones are able to change indefinitely, and it makes them less valuable. Because I believe a guy who made Bitcoin, it was this one person under a pseudonym who then disappeared. They created it, let it loose, disappeared. But then I start to think, my mind goes, I want to put a tinfoil hat on and think about conspiracies, and then wonder if it is an experiment intentionally to get people to be very invested in it because there's an anarchistic appeal. But then perhaps this person who has disappeared into the ether is actually, let's say, something like a financial interest group, a worldwide financial interest group running an experiment, and they will return and they will change the parameters, making it something more of a centralized idea. So I almost sometimes think that it's all a ruse. It's a red herring. But I really don't know, because a part of me does think that people could easily evolve to want to live their lives artificially as well.
Yeah, no, it's we're definitely making an interesting step in our history on this planet as human beings, aren't we? So I think Bitcoin for me, is probably one of the first. I'm probably wrong here, but it's probably one of the first instances of being able to buy something without buying something. You're literally buying some ones and zeros in a certain order that gives you access to these other ones and zeros in this certain order that you can trade for money. Even.
Then you can use as decentralized currency, right? Wherever I see crypto encouraged to use, it is if, say, I want to buy drugs on the internet or something of that sort.
Oh, yeah, it's yeah, and I guess also another appeal to it is for countries that don't have a stable currency. I guess it's a way, maybe they don't have a stable currency, and I know a lot,
You mean somewhere subject to something like hyperinflation? Like,
yeah,
say, a South American country, or what
somewhere
Germany
where they
in the
keep
20s.
American dollars under the mattress,
Right?
Where it kind of gives an outlet for people that maybe you can go on the dot, you could get hook up to the internet and buy some Bitcoin, hide. I don't know. You can. It's a little bit of private freedom, I guess.
Though it's clearly so unstable presently, it makes me want to watch Bitcoin just because of this one individual's case for the interest in it as being the only cryptocurrency really worth paying attention to. But I understand the appeal of wanting to have a financial system that isn't strictly dictated by the government, right? Because everything else is fiat currency, I believe you'd call it, in which the central bank determines the value of money by how much they print, and that's how we end up with inflation rates. And then that's how they kind of start to politicize things, so people encourage more printing of money.
Right.
Though ultimately that makes money less valuable, and it causes the people along the way to be the only people really benefiting.
Right.
Say like the politicians or the government.
Right.
So on and so forth.
Yeah, and I guess touching on that aspect as well, it makes you speaking currency. If you go and buy a house, they pull up your bank account and they can where have you worked, they can see all of your ins and outs. Your credit card company knows so much about you. But I guess Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies in general kind of pull a blanket over that.
That's what I think the appeal is, right? Particularly with what just happened in Canada with the protests in Ottawa and all that stuff, and people's bank accounts being frozen. I do think that made a lot of people uncomfortable with the banks and the government really just finding a new expansive authority suddenly to be able to freeze people's bank accounts at all. Is very interesting. And I do think it's unsettling.
Oh, it's funny because what is a bank? A bank is just a place you store your money safely at the end of the day, right?
Hypothetically safely.
Yeah.
But what if the government ends up being able to control your bank account based on your political opinions? I think that's super dangerous, right? But that's where it does feel like that was a little tiptoe into a technocratic China like move, right?